Hello, my friends. We are off again. I hope your suitcases are ready, your tickets are in hand or in your jacket pockets, because today we're off again with British Overseas Airways Corporation. We're using their Traveller's Digest to be ready. It's 1961, and we are going to travel to Germany. Here we go. Let's have a look at this. Germany, the country. The Iron Curtain divides post-war Germany into two opposing scenes. Behind the curtain in the east, roughly one-third of pre-war German territory is Soviet-occupied, and nominally the German Democratic Republic. Roughly two-thirds in the west comprise the German Federal Republic, of which the government centre is Bonn. The pre-war capital, Berlin, in the eastern zone, is itself divided. But though surrounded by Soviet-controlled territory, the western sector of the city is connected to the Federal Republic by road, rail, and air corridors. Visitors to vigorous, renascent Western Germany find little sense of division or peril. Hamburg, only 40 miles from the eastern zone, restored in status and prosperity as the principal Hanseatic port, with its shipbuilding industry almost back to pre-war international strength, this exemplifies Germany's astonishing recovery. Other main cities and towns where new shops, flats and office blocks have risen from the debris include Bremen, Hanover, Frankfurt, Dusseldorf, Cologne, Nuremberg, Stuttgart and Munich. The fairly flat North German plain stretches from the North Sea and Baltic coasts to the Harz Mountains, skiing in winter. Farther south, in the central part of the country, the Ruhr and the Rhineland offer contrasts in appearance and tempo. The Ruhr, once called the Arsenal of Europe, is again a showpiece of Germany's industrial efficiency, whilst a trip on a pleasure boat down the winding Rhine past fairy Gothic castles is an exploration of the romantic and sentimental enigma of the German character and landscape. Baden-Württemberg in the southwest embraces the Black Forest, with its wooded hills and valleys, waterfalls and health resorts. Bavaria in the southeast is a region of Baroque castles and cathedrals and a musical and artistic tradition. Upper Bavaria is famous for the Oberammergau Passion Play, Bayreuth for the annual Wagner festivals. Frankfurt, Germany's main international airport, is 1 hour 30 minutes from London, 8 hours 10 minutes from New York, direct by jet. The people of Germany. Population of West Germany is about 52 million, some 69 million in the entire country. The Federal Republic has a president and a chancellor with two main political alignments. Predominant religion is Protestant, but the Roman Catholic Church is strongly represented, especially in the southern and western parts of the country. Standard of education is high, and a large number of people have a working knowledge of English. The German is a disciplinarian and a sentimentalist. He excels at sports, music, and singing, especially in Bavaria. In their homes, women are competent, fastidious, and house-proud. The German matron tends to dress functionally rather than fashionably, but the younger woman has a keener sense of style. In rural areas in Bavaria, women wear full skirts and blouses, the men lederhosen. Climate and clothing. A temperate, bracing climate with comparatively warm springs, long summers, quite severe winters. Temperatures average 64 degrees Fahrenheit from June to August, highest 74, lowest 52. And then 35 degrees from November to January, highest 44, lowest 26. Frequent rain showers in late autumn, snow in winter, and some fog in river areas. As a whole, the south is the healthiest and most invigorating region. Much of the country is heavily wooded with pine, spruce, birch, beech, and oak trees. Wild flowers and clover grow thickly in the meadows. Edelweiss, gentian, and silver thistles on the mountains. Most common birds and wild animals are sparrows, finches, larks, owls, robins, woodpeckers, eagles and red deer, fallow deer, foxes, rabbits, and squirrels. During the winter months, warm clothes are needed, heavy wool or fur coat, snow boots, thick scarves and gloves, raincoat, warm hat. In summer, early autumn, late spring, light weights for men, silk or cotton for women, but with something warm for the evening. Formal dress, dinner jackets, short evening frocks for the theatre, dinner parties, etc., is worn more often here than in other continental countries. Laundry, dry cleaning, 24 to 48 hours. Services are highly efficient and inexpensive. Hairdressing is good, but not inspired. Shampoo and set costs 5 Deutschmark, trim for men 2 to 2 Deutschmark 50. Where to stay? The German National Tourist Board publishes a comprehensive list of hotels, inns, chateaux, boarding houses, covering all parts of the country. Your travel agent will be glad to supply you with this list and to give you any further information you may need. Meanwhile, here are some examples of hotels in Frankfurt, with prices for a single room with and without bath. Frankfurter Hof, 24 to 32 Deutschmark. Hotel Monopole Metropole, 22 to 26. Hotel National, 20 to 24. Incel Hotel, 20 to 24. Hotel Hans Marina, 15 to 26. All rooms have private bath. Waldhotel unter Schweinsteiger, near airport, 12 Deutschmark 50. Hotel Westfälinger Hof, 15. Eden Hotel am Zoo, 14 to 18. Hotel Union, 9 to 12 Deutschmark. Food and drink in Germany. If it is true that the soul of every fat man harbours a thin man, there are many thin men in Germany, and if the national propensity for dumplings, donuts, sausages, and strudels is anything to go by, many more to come. This is no place for short-wind eaters. Every meal is a marathon, and you need stamina to stay the course. If you haven't got it, take plenty of bicarbonate, or order à la carte. In northeast Germany, St. Martin's goose is not to be missed. Try eel soup in Hamburg, ham in Westphalia, seafoods along the North Sea and Baltic coasts, river fish, carp and salmon and trout inland. Some good cheeses, advisable to wash fruit. Beer is very good and hock is superb. Drink both in the beer gardens and wine cellars which you will find in every town. Tap water is safe but often unpalatable in the big cities. There are many excellent coffee bars as well as restaurants throughout Germany. Call the waitress Fraulein, the waiter Herr Ober. Licensing hours are 9 a.m. to midnight, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. Sport and entertainment in Germany. Winter sports are the big attraction. Skiing, bobsleighing, skating, ice hockey, and, in Bavaria and the Harz Mountains, curling, which is particularly popular with the young in heart but not in limb. Good snow from Christmas to March at altitudes between 3,280 and 3,935 feet, until April above 4,290 feet, and on the Zugspitz Plateau until the end of May. Most other sports are locally controlled by clubs, which normally welcome guests. Hunting and fishing require a license. Main spectator sports are ball games and horse racing, the annual Wiesbaden tournament. No national theatre, but commercial ones in larger towns and cities. Cinemas in almost all places. Orchestral concerts and opera up to connoisseur standards. Practically every town has its own philharmonic orchestra. Among some fine museums of art, the Bayerische Staatsgemäldsammlung at Munich, Staatliches Museum in Berlin-Dahlem, Germanisches Nationalmuseum in Nuremberg, Städtisches Kunstinstitut in Frankfurt, Wallraffer Richards Museum in Cologne. Zoos in Munich, Frankfurt, Berlin, Hamburg, Düsseldorf, Cologne, Wuppertal, Karlsruhe. Nightclubs in the cities, some of the seen one, seen the lot variety, others slightly depraved, such as in the St. Paul quarter of Hamburg. Not at all the nice kind of place to take a lady. BFN, British Forces Network, broadcast BBC transcripts and their own programmes in English. AFN, American Forces Network, also have their own programme. English newspapers and magazines on most newsstands. Getting about in Germany. For travel to neighbouring countries, flying is the most practical method of transport. There are modern airports in all important towns, and Dortmund has its own helicopter services. Within Germany, however, railways are supreme. Fast, streamlined trains connect all the main cities. Local services are frequent and punctual. There are mountain railways, funiculars, and chairlifts in the Alpine regions. Ask about reductions on round-trip and weekend return tickets, 20 to 35% reduction on round-trip tickets, depending on the distance, about 25% reduction on weekend return tickets. The railways also run a good motor coach service for sightseeing trips through some of the country's beauty spots. Main roads are excellent and autobahns, motorways, justifiably famous. Cars can be hired at 0.012 per kilometre of a Deutschmark, plus petrol, 0.64 per litre minimum. Drive on right. Taxis, usually black with a white stripe around the bodywork, charge 0.70 Deutschmark a kilometre. Tip, about half a kilometre to Tip about 1/2 of a Deutschmark to 1 full Deutschmark. During spring and summer, steamers and launches operate on the Rhine, Weser, Elbe, Moselle, Lahn, Main and Danube, and on Lake Constance and the Bavarian lakes. Shopping. There is an air of plenty about the shops here, whether in fashionable city centres or in out-of-the-way villages. Buy gold and silver bracelets and earrings from Pforzheim and Hanau, ceramics, wood carvings, musical boxes, and cuckoo clocks from the Bavarian forests, cutlery from Solingen and Geislingen, leather wallets, purses, briefcases, luggage from Offenbach, Lodencloth suits, embroidered skirts and blouses from Munich, costume jewellery from Berlin and Neugablonz, furs from Frankfurt, and of course the famous beer mugs from everywhere. Most makes of English and American cigarettes for sale, but at higher prices than at home. Local tobacco products, especially the popular thin cigars, quite good. Dressmaking and tailoring first class, quick and cheap. German photographic equipment on its home ground is unassailable, both in quality and price. Processing, very expert, takes 1 to 2 days. about 2 to 3 days for colour. Shops open from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturdays, from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. every first Saturday of the month. Some basic facts and figures about Germany. Money. The currency unit is the Deutschmark, DM, divided into 100 Pfennigs, PF. Notes. These are available in 5, 10, 20, 50 and 100 marks. Coins are 1, 2 and 5 marks. Smaller coins, the Pfennigs, are 1, 2, 5, 10 and 50. Banks open 8:30 to 12:30 and 2 to 5 on weekdays, 8:30 to noon on Saturdays, except third Saturday in each month. Holidays, 1st January, Easter, 1st May, Ascension Day, Whitsuntide, 17th June. Day of Prayer and Repentance, November variable. Christmas. Police wear green or blue uniforms, with white belts and helmets. Many of them understand enough English to give directions. Telephones, automatic. Most operators speak English. Booths are yellow with black emblem. Send cables from post office or hotel. Buy stamps from post office, hotel or street slot machines. Airmail to UK costs 55 Pfennigs for postcards, 55 for letters up to 20 grams, takes 2 days. To US, aerogram, 60 Pfennigs, 20 Pfennigs or 40 Pfennigs for postcards, takes 3 days. Letter boxes, yellow. Medical services, excellent. Most doctors have a working knowledge of English. Attendance costs 15 Deutschmark. Public lavatories, very hygienic, have a Toiletten sign, cost 10 Pfennigs. Electric current, 110 to 220 AC. Further information from German Tourist Board. Deutsche Zentrale für Fremdenverkehr, Beethovenstraße 69, Frankfurt. Also 6 Vigo Street, Regent Street, London West 1. 500 Fifth Avenue, New York 36. And finally, a tourist office at 323 Geary Street in Montreal. And that, my friends, is our introduction to travelling in Germany in 1961, courtesy of the staff and field agents at British Overseas Airways Corporation in 1961. I hope you've enjoyed that. There was a lot that I discovered about Germany for us to travel there.